Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading for the week of February 20 through 26, 2024. I'm slightly late on this, so apologies for that. I do have more info on that on my Instagram and Facebook accounts that are mentioned in the description below, along with the link to my website and my PayPal donation link. Yeah, things got a bit messed up this weekend, so I'm running a little late putting these out. This is a reading for you if you are Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising, or have some other significant Sag placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I hope this reading is a good one and that it resonates for you this week. And I already mentioned my stuff in the description below. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you choose, and subscribe to the channel if you find these readings helpful, and hit the notification bell because I may be changing. I'm almost pretty sure I'm going to be changing the way I do readings at this point, so you'll just want to be notified when readings come out. Okay, I use a full horoscope spread for those of you not familiar with how I do readings. So I do this according to the houses of astrology. Obviously, I can't do it according to people's individual charts because this is a general reading. But what I do is I will interpret the card positions with respect to the meaning of the houses. So I have the Cartouche deck, which is the main one that I use for these readings, and then I will clarify with a tarot deck. This week I'm using what is known as the Tarot Classic deck, at least that's what the box for mine says. This is actually a facsimile of the Tarot of Marseille, which is an old, one of the original French decks. Yeah, and I also do an oracle reading at the end. So this week I am using the Wisdom of the Tao Oracle by Meijing Liu, and I'll actually read to you from the book at the end because I feel like her, I can give you a general meaning of the card, but I feel like her actual explanations of each one are very rich and worth reading. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. Okay, so the first house has to do with Aries energy. This is about you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world. Okay, and we have Temperance with air. Now, Temperance, it's interesting because this is the card of Sagittarius. Now, Sag, of course, is a fire sign and not an air sign. But this does seem to indicate that you are in balance, that you are integrating things, integrating maybe new lessons or new experiences. So Temperance is definitely a card of what I think of as alchemy. So you are taking disparate elements and blending them together harmoniously in your into your life. So yeah, so this is definitely you certainly finding balance, finding some level of peace. And with air, there's definitely a bit of friendliness here with the air card, but it may be something where you're being friendly, but excuse me, it's interesting. Friendly, but detaching yourself from a particular situation. So you may not be getting yourself very emotionally involved in situations, but you are nonetheless communicative and friendly with others. It's funny, I haven't coughed since this morning, and now all of a sudden, as soon as I start to do the reading, I start to cough. Okay, second house. This is Taurus energy. This is your finances. So your money, possessions, what you value. And this is your money, by the way. The 8th house is the house of other people's money. So this has to do with you, although it can talk about the other's influence on your finances. Okay, you have Sphinx here. So there's a sense here of needing to, this is a wait and see card. There could be secrets involving your money, or there could be maybe there's something about money that you're not sharing with others, or there could be something that you're going to learn that you haven't, it hasn't come to light yet. But more often than not, I feel like Sphinx is like saying keep something to yourself. And also I feel like you need to kind of sit back and be patient and wait for something to happen. We do have it with the King of Swords. So the King of Swords tends to be something, I don't know, the King of Swords can be somebody who is very intellectual or cerebral. So this could be like an accountant. This could be a lawyer. This could be, somebody who has that kind of very either very, very intellectual bent without the emotion. Okay, sometimes this is somebody who's somewhat critical, but this can also just be somebody who is able to bring clarity to a situation for you. Now, the King of Swords has strong air energy, so it could be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It could be actual person, but does not have to be. King of Swords can also bring decisions about things. So you may be waiting on something financial because perhaps you need to make a very clear decision on something, but you want to do it based on facts and not based on emotion. Third house is Gemini energy. This is messages, communications from others. If you're in your own business, this is the house of self-effort. It have to do with short trips, short distance travel, and also sibling relationships. And we have Thoth here with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I don't know if the Queen of Wands, this could be you because this is a fire energy person, male or female. I mean, the Queen is female, but doesn't have to necessarily refer to a female person. There is definitely this sense of being seen, of being attractive to people, of being ambitious, kind of having that real go-getter kind of energy. I am feeling like this is probably you, although it could in some cases, and again, because it's a general reading, take it as it applies, this could potentially be somebody else. So if you don't feel this is you, but you feel there's somebody else coming into your life who you're communicating with, who has this kind of energy, this person, it's either, if this has to do with a business venture, then either you're really stepping up to the plate in something and being seen and being recognized and putting a lot of energy into something, or this is somebody who's going to help you do that, okay? If this is just about general messages and communications, same thing applies, okay? Or again, this is about brother-sister relationships. This could potentially be a sibling who is maybe determined or very supportive. Now you have it with Thoth. So Thoth indicates a kind of karmic good turn. It can also indicate something that's coming to you, being in the right place at the right time. That's a lot of the Thoth energy here. This could have to do with writing too. Those of you who might be either dealing in written communication or who are doing publishing, because both the 3rd and 9th house deal with publishing. This can also be a strong indication of something connected to publishing, maybe academic publishing for some of you, but something that seems to have a little bit more authority to it. Like it could be fiction writing, but this has more of like a nonfiction academic feel to it. But again, that's only if you feel that applies to you. More generally speaking, I feel like it's communications coming in or help for business that's coming in at the right place at the right time, like whatever's, or some kind of communication that is, I'm going to say karmic in nature, in the sense of it's something that it represents something inevitable, okay? And it's something that's outside of your control, but we're not talking about something that's negative. Thoth usually brings a karmic good turn, or a turn that is actually very positive. And yeah, it could come from this person, or this person could be you. This could be saying just that you are perceived as this very vivacious, ambitious person who is most definitely seen. And Queen of Wands energy, I find that people either love or hate Queen of Wands energy, but I just feel like this is somebody who is, definitely it's somebody who grabs attention, okay, and is also very motivated. Okay, 4th house is Cancer energy. This has to do with your home, your family, your ancestry. It can also have to do with with your mother, and it can also just have to do with your general sense of security. So this can have to do, and also have to do with your physical home. So again, take it as it resonates here. Often if people are planning to move, that might also show up in this house. Okay, we have the 8 of Swords with the Crook and Flail. Okay. And both of these add up to 8, like 1 plus 7 here is an 8, and this is card number 8. When I see the double numbers like that, sometimes I find they're relevant. So, and again, to be clear, they may or may not be relevant, but it's just something I've noticed. And the Crook and Flail is, okay, there could be legal issues surrounding a home or surrounding a family situation. So there's definitely something connected to, this is usually about being on the right side of authority for something, or having a truth. There's an element of almost justice to this card. Like there's a of doing something the right way, doing something the legal way, some kind of justice that's coming in. For some people, it could have to do with property taxes and stuff like that. I mean that all that is potentially possible. But also because Crook and Flail is somebody who is an authority or someone who's visible or seen, and we have this Queen of Wands energy here. I don't know. This could be you taking on a central role for something that's going on in your family, or with respect to a situation dealing with your home. Or maybe you are calling an authority in to help with something. Maybe if you're planning to do work on a house, or if there's some kind of a situation with a family member that has to be dealt with. There's definitely this strong sense of authority. But if you feel like none of that applies, then certainly this indicates a situation where one needs to be confident, but also to be somewhat disciplined. And if there's concerns about being right or wrong in a situation, this would say that you are in the right. Now, the Eight of Swords, this is the idea of being mentally stuck. So I feel like for some of you, maybe there is something where you are worried and maybe only looking at it one way, or maybe worried that you haven't, this is definitely the energy of saying, well, I can't move forward because it's usually kind of a thing where we've just decided there's only one way to do things or one way to look at something. And this would be saying, there's another way to look at a situation. So, and it's possible here that maybe it's saying you might need the help of an outside expert to help you see another situation. That's possible here as well. But either way, I feel like so far you have a good reason to be confident about things right now. I do wonder if this has to do with the financial situation, if there's some kind of finances related to the home or family here, where decisions have to be made, but you're kind of waiting and seeing because maybe you feel like you're stuck right now. But it does seem like it's something that will get sorted out correctly. Okay, fifth house is Leo energy, creativity, children, love affairs, recreation. That's the nature of this house. It is Leo energy, and you do have fire here, so that's good. That's double fire. It's exalted in that house. I would say fire has to do with the situation either that you are purifying, burning up in the sense of getting rid of things that don't help. It can also, if we're talking about love affairs, seeing the Queen of Wands here, this could mean that you're mega hot to somebody, okay? Quite literally. And the fact that you have it with the Page of Swords, well, this can have the element of gossip, but I can't help but feeling like it's saying somebody's watching you secretly, okay? And it doesn't have to be in a creepy stalkerish way, just that there's somebody maybe who is admiring you from afar, who like thinks you're hot. That could be a thing. And again, especially with this Queen of Wands energy over here. Now, obviously, if that's not on the table for you, if you're saying, well, no, I'm not in a relationship, maybe you're married or maybe you're single. And even if you are single, it could just be somebody you don't know about. But if you're saying, okay, this isn't going to have anything to do with that, then what this could have to do with, if it has to do with a creative project or something like that, this could be saying that you are motivated to get working on something, but perhaps you need to gather some more information. Page of Swords is kind of information gathering behind the scenes, usually, kind of like, getting the word on the street or hearing what the gossip is about something. So I don't know, but there definitely seems to be a sense of information gathering. Maybe for some people, sometimes Page of Swords even indicates the signing of a contract. So take it as it resonates. Again, I was feeling that book energy over here, so maybe that applies to some of you. But there just seems like, whether that's the case or not, it does seem like there's some, if it's not about love, then it feels like there's just some, inspiration to do something. And again, there may be, I think also with maybe Page of Swords in terms of information gathering, because there may be things that are not clear to you or that are hidden. Like there could be hidden things over here financially. I'm seeing Sphinx. It's so maybe there's a need to kind of go away from the normal sources of information, perhaps to get information that you need about something. So again, it's going to be different for everyone. Okay, sixth house. This is Virgo energy. This has to do with your health. This has to do with with job. If you're working for somebody, it's a house of service. This can have to do with worries and anxieties that you might have, and potentially with domestic animals too. In fact, we have Anubis here. Maybe there's dog energy for some people, and with the Nine of Cups. So if you've been wanting a dog, maybe this is saying wishes granted here. Obviously, that's a very specific thing, but generally speaking, this indicates some level of protection or guidance. Okay. So if there's a health situation, this would indicate protection. If there's anything, somebody requires a hospital procedure or something, this is generally a very good omen for that. We do have 2 9s, so we have a 9 here and a 9 here. So I don't know if number 9 is actually important with regard to this situation. Could also have to do with a job situation or with just something you're generally concerned about. So this would suggest that in those cases, you are dealing with a situation where there's protection, where there's the ability to negotiate. Again, there's this negotiating energy. That reminds me of this a little bit, because this is about not approaching something directly if you have to negotiate. It's like being diplomatic about some situation. So this could be a work situation or something else. whatever it is, that seems to be the way. Ultimately, I feel like you're going to get your wish or get your way with something. Somebody's wish is being granted here because this is the wish card. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know. This is, to me, this is just a very, very, positive moment. It suggests protection in something. Suggests not being delusional either. See, it's interesting. I have crook and flail here. There could be some situation, maybe if there's a health situation surrounding a family member or something, it may be saying that you're seeing things very, very clearly. But there is a sense of wishes granted, whatever that means. Yeah, take that as it resonates. But then this is generally just a very good omen. And if you have been worried about something, I feel like things are going to go, not to worry, like things are going to go the way you want them to. Okay, 7th house is Libra energy. Libra has to do with relationships, legalized relationships, so marriages, more committed partnerships, domestic partnerships, and things like that. Can have to do with a business partner. It can have to do with any kind of legal contract or something. Okay, and you have Pyramid with the Ace of Cups. So this suggests new love to me. For somebody, and especially with this down here, somebody's watching you and they think you're hot, and maybe you're going to be getting into a new relationship with this person. Again, this is, if you're already married or already in a situation, then this probably doesn't apply to you in this way. But that's a definite here that there's new love coming in for somebody. However, we do have it with Pyramid. So Pyramid indicates that even though there's new love coming in, there's something here that's going to take a modicum of time. So it may be that, like, if this person's being secretive right now, it may take a while for them to reveal themselves, or even if you do get together, it may take a while for the relationship to develop. This is suggesting you are at the beginning of something. Now, if you're already married, or if you're saying, well, this has nothing to do with that, maybe you think it has to do with a business partnership or something, nonetheless, there does seem to be a very emotionally satisfying new beginning of some type. That again, whether this has to do with a business contract or whether this is something happening within your marriage. I mean, it could also just mean that you've had a test situation maybe in your marriage, and this is saying this is going to lead to maybe some new love or some renewed feeling or emotion in a particular situation. So take that as it resonates there. 8th house is Scorpio, and Scorpio has to do with transformations, life, death kind of stuff, and just the milestones that we go through. General flow of change in our lives is the way I usually see it represented in these readings, and it can also have to do with other people's money. So we have Ta with the 6 of Cups. Okay, 6 of Cups indicates something from the past coming back around, okay? This could be a person, it could be a relationship, it could be it could just be a past situation that's resurrected itself, something from the past that is replaying, and, there's time to incorporate the lesson of whatever is involved there. So whatever is happening for you again, Ta is saying this is part of the temple of the psyche, as Murray Hope would call it, and she's the one who invented Cartouche, that is being built in some fashion. So I feel like this is part, or maybe teaching you about how to set boundaries or how to, this is, it's the card of the master craftsman here. So this may be about ways in which we are able to craft our experience, into the temple of the psyche, or of the way of being, to our house, psychologically speaking, that we are building and making strong. Okay, if that makes sense. There's also strong male energy attached to Ta. This is Capricorn energy, so I don't know if this involves somebody who's a Capricorn for somebody. It could, but this is Saturn energy, so there's definitely this sense of lessons, of making corrections. Like, that's the phrase I'm getting. It's almost a Saturn return kind of thing. Like, you're making corrections to something that maybe didn't go right before. Maybe you didn't respond quite in the way that was best the last time you confronted a particular situation. So this is about getting it right this time, and having that opportunity to correct something. Okay, 9th house is Sag energy. This is your own. And this has to do with expansion, so long-term travel, or long-distance travel, really, and potentially long-term. Higher ed, religious organizations, religion, spirituality, anything around belief, or about expanding your knowledge in some way. So even if it's not going to college or university, which it could be, it could also just be about gaining a certification or something. That's the nature of the house. And what we have is the 2 of Swords with Buckle of Isis. So yeah, you're faced with decisions again. And that's interesting because you have a decision down here in the 2nd house. Maybe you're thinking about taking a long trip or going on a course, like learning, taking a certification or a course or going back to school. Could be any of those things. Maybe events in your life have, maybe this reconsidering of the past is making you change your beliefs. But you are at a stalemate right now. I feel like you're being faced with a decision. Now, it's not going to be all of those things that I just mentioned, but those are all the aspects of the house. So you need to decide which one applies to you. But there is definitely this idea of a stalemate, kind of a situation that's peaceful right now. You're ready to move ahead, but right now you're kind of in this comfortable, neutral space. But this definitely does require a decision. And Buckle of Isis is saying, whatever decision you make, the work that you put into something, the sacrifice that you make, which may be part of this, whatever it is you're letting go of from the past, or whatever you're giving up, whatever effort you're putting in, is going to be rewarded in the end. Okay, 10th house, this is Capricorn energy. This is about your career, your fame, reputation. It's about your legacy in the sense of what you're doing in the world that is going to be left behind for others. Can have to do with the father as well. And wow, you have Horus with the star. So okay, you're getting ready to shine in your career here. Okay, this is definitely a great omen for somebody who is. And again, we had that Queen of Wands down here about visibility. So if this has to do with your own business, like the timing is right for something. You are about ready to be seen. And it's interesting because it's opposite the 4th house, which is the Crook and Flail. And the Crook and Flail is also about being visible and seen, being seen as an authority, being popular, being considered creative. Horus has to do with healing energy, so maybe some of you are in a healing profession, medical profession or healing profession. That's possible here. Horus just can also have to do with creativity and creative work as well. So maybe just being creative with the work that you have and what you're doing. If there's a situation with the father, this could be about healing, about strong family bonds potentially. Again, doesn't have to be, but there is a strong family element to Horus as well. Though in this house, it feels more like it has to do with just gaining a good reputation, handling things creatively. It's definitely a card of succeeding and overcoming obstacles. And the star it's like this 9 of Cups. And it's interesting because the house that the 9 of Cups is in, these are both wish cards. This is the 6th house, this is the 10th. These are both having to do with job and career. So for some of you, this is definitely like you are going to be getting your wishes, getting the job or career of your dreams, like something that you wanted is possible here. This is an excellent omen for anything that you're maybe trying to do. But I don't know, maybe there's a move that's required. Maybe that's why you're feeling stuck here and stuck here. Like, oh, I'd like to do this, but I can't, maybe you feel like you can't move right now for some reason, but I feel like there's some kind of a sacrifice here that's going to end up being worth it. And again, the star is card number 17. So that adds up to 8. You've got 8 here. You've got 8 here. Yeah, 8 and 9 seem to be numbers, which imply getting towards the end of a cycle, getting ready. You're not quite completing something yet, but you are at this level of mastery. You're ready to move. The 9 and the 10 obviously are the culmination of that particular number in that particular suit. But 8 means you're pretty far along in the process of something. And in other areas, you are having a new beginning because yet we have another ace. Remember, we have the Ace of Cups over here. In the Aquarius house, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is the house related to friendships, your networks, your friend, I don't want to put it. You've got your social networks, your business networks, whatever, social media, that kind of a thing. This is all about the networks that you have with other people, and it's also about your goals and about your destiny. So you have this Sirius, which is the card of Aquarius, okay, in the Cartouche deck. Again, there's this idea of work, of putting the work into something. And this is opposite this 5th house here. So yeah, so there's definitely this strong element of work, of inspiration, thinking outside the box, doing something different. It could be an Aquarian friend. That's a possibility too. But there's definitely a sense of, you being strong enough to take the rough with the smooth in a particular situation. And this definitely brings a new financial opportunity. or new opportunity that's centered around security in some way, because we're looking at pentacles here. So I feel like, yeah, for some of you, this may be a new job option or new job opportunity that is coming through your friend group in some way, or your network. Perhaps, I mean, these kind of things do happen. I had that throughout most of my career, where I was working for one employer, and then it was, I get a call and say, hey, you want to come work for me? I mean, it could be a situation like that. So this is definitely a possibility here. Okay, 12th house. This is about your fears, what's hidden, and it can have to do with just things that you're not showing to other people. Sometimes this has to do with foreign travel. So like I said, there's this idea of travel. I'm only bringing that up because I'm seeing these twos both in houses of travel. So I feel like there might be decisions around travel, or maybe going abroad for some people. Yeah, and you've got the twins energy too. This is Gemini energy. Could be Gemini or Libra, really, because they don't really specify here. But the Two of Wands kind of indicates you're, preparing, like being at the beginning stages of something, like ready to move on to the next step. Okay, ready to reach out, ready to work with others. But the fact that it's showing up in this house indicates that maybe you have concerns or doubts. Like maybe there's somebody who wants to reach out and offer something to you in support, and you're kind of going, well, is that the thing I should do? Should I accept this help? Should I accept this opportunity? And again, this is in the house of fears. So I feel like there's a fear here. Maybe this relates to this past situation over here, that you're saying, gee, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to trust somebody else, with this. Like I feel like some of the decisions you're making might come up, in connection to either moving or working with somebody. Okay, something like that. Some kind of a situation where you need to work with somebody else, or maybe you're going to get support of support from somebody else, or perhaps financial support, but you may be reluctant to do that. But again, everything else here supports you making a decision that has to do with reaching out to others. And in fact, yeah, you've got these twos overall. You've got the Two of Cups. So for some of you, yeah, a relationship, possibly a love relationship, is the focus here. Maybe you're thinking about moving and getting a job in connection with a love relationship. I'm not sure. Again, it's going to vary. That may not be for everybody. But nonetheless, there is definitely the idea of working, whether it be in friendship or in love, definitely this idea of camaraderie, working with people who you, not just people who you're working with on an all business kind of scale, but people who you actually like, okay? If it doesn't actually have to do with a love situation. Although, those of you who are looking for it, there's very strong sense that there's somebody who's been watching and behind the scenes who may come in here. And you have this with Isis. So Isis, yeah, this has to do with compassion, with nurturing. Now, if there's been a reluctance around a relationship, maybe there's been, maybe you feel you've been burned in dealing with people, whether it's a business situation or a love situation, but this would be saying to show compassion to somebody, have patience. If it's not about it, again, the fact that I'm seeing it with the Two of Cups makes me think that this does have to do with taking a nurturing or caring attitude towards somebody else, or this could be somebody taking the attitude towards you. Ideally, it would be both ways, right? But there does seem to be this this very nurturing quality overall to this reading. And Isis can also, in its most general sense, mean that you need to persevere with things, but part of that perseverance involves being patient. And we did see Pyramid up here, so that is a card of patience. We have Ta up here. This is a card of correction and of rebuilding. So I think you need to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, definitely with this. This could indicate relationship or partnership. For somebody, it most definitely does. And it does seem like not only there's new love, but like an absolutely awesome new job opportunity or something connected to your career. And it may be something that's coming from either your business networks or from a friend. So great reading this week, Sag. I mean, really great. So let's do a Wisdom of the Tao Oracle for you. What does Sagittarius need to know for this week? Okay, the card that we have is Change of Direction. Okay. okay, which is known as Uncle Cow. And what it says on the card is change is inevitable and in your favor. Your intuition has been alerting you that a change is approaching. In your approach and outlook must occur. Now is the time to act, make your move. Now what this says in the book, this one, in the book I remember this one's a little bit more, I don't want to say pessimistic, so I would be careful about how this is read, because she says, you reached a point of knowing that drastic change may be inevitable. Allow the trigger, either internal or external, help you ponder all that has occurred. Change your direction. Don't linger on matters proven impossible, okay? You may be asking, am I on the right path? Am I living my purpose? It says, don't spend your time defending, protecting, or prolonging an illusion. I don't really feel that here with what I'm seeing. I feel more like you are undecided about moving towards the future, and this is telling you to change your direction, okay? It says it's important to understand, yeah, you may be changing direction. This could be this past thing. There could be something from the past that was part of your growth, but a higher calling is pulling you in a different direction. Don't run from change. Don't be afraid of change. If you can't decide what that change is, step back from it, do nothing, and nothing will be left undone. You can observe the change as a third person. When you are no longer in the foreground, you can see things clearly, and with careful planning, you will take the right direction. Sometimes it's clear that certain things you want changed cannot be altered. It's perhaps a sign of something else that requires correction. It can be a place to live, a new environment in which to work, or a whole group of friends to share your new visions. Once you embrace this change, you need to fully commit to the course of action. Sometimes the change impacts more than one person, and you need to understand the big picture before taking action. And actually, big picture thinking is part of what I connect to Sagittarius, definitely. This is a golden time to purify your physical body, whether activity or rest. A time to re-examine what you put into your body and what kind of people you surround it with. So, yeah, I feel, generally speaking, this is a change of direction. I definitely see this sense of being unsure about what this is going to mean financially, perhaps, or what this is going to mean in terms of effort. It might require a move, might require bringing new people in that maybe you're not sure if you want to do this. That there is a lot of cards here of indecision and feeling mentally stuck, and this is saying, if you're feeling stuck, it is definitely time to change direction. I hope this reading was helpful this week, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for watching, and apologies again for the delays in getting this out. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.